What's up guys, Sean here, and what was that? Alright, let's just start over. What's up guys, Sean here, and today we're gonna talk about... Alright, let's do that one more time. What's up guys, Sean here, and today we're gonna talk about Starbucks being... No, this isn't the 5K special. Thank you, I'm really grateful for reaching 5,000 subscribers, but still waiting on a few things to do that video. This is about Starbucks being racist. Or not being racist. Intro. So as we've talked about in previous videos, I think one of the major problems facing the modern left in America, and really across the world, is that they are too quick to pull the trigger and call someone or some event racist. And I actually think that this Starbucks case is a perfect example of that. Let's start out with the facts that everyone agrees to. Two African-American men walk into a Starbucks in Philadelphia. They are in Starbucks because they plan to meet a third gentleman to discuss a real estate investment. One of these two gentlemen needs to use the bathroom. They walk up to the front and ask for the bathroom key. For those of you who don't know, Starbucks in really densely populated areas have a bathroom key. So for those of you who live in areas that are less populated that might not have this situation where you have to get a code or a key from the front, this is not an uncommon thing to have in a Starbucks in a major city. The barista at Starbucks refuses them the bathroom key on the basis that they have not decided to make a purchase yet. Now, we don't know what was actually said between the two parties after the bathroom key was refused, but the man sat back down at the table, and according to both of the men who were arrested, the store manager walked up to them and then asked them if they would like to order anything. The two gentlemen told the manager that they were not ready to order anything, and then the manager at some point asked them to leave. The gentlemen refused, and according to the Starbucks employees, they then told them that if they didn't leave, they were going to call the police. The gentleman sitting at the table declined to leave again, and the police were called. And that's where the video picks up. The police show up, they ask the two individuals to leave, they refuse to leave, they tell them that if they do not leave willingly, they will be arrested on a trespass charge. They decline. According to the police chief, they say something snarky about the police chief's salary, and the police arrest them without incident. The two men go through processing. The video of the arrest goes up under the caption, "Two guys arrested at Starbucks for being black." And after the backlash, a representative of that Starbucks location calls the police and tells them that they no longer wish to file trespass charges. So the two men are released without charge. Now that's it. That's the entire incident. Those are the facts that everyone seems to agree on at this point. Now, according to the mainstream left-wing media, these facts in this one case are enough to say the employee who called the police is racist. Starbucks as a company is racist. The police department that made the arrest, the officers, and I'm assuming the entire department, or a huge part of the department is racist. And America as a whole is racist. Now in this video, I'm going to try and provide a counter explanation for everything that happened in this case. First things first, let's talk about them being refused the bathroom key. This is a major point of contention. This is like the entry point into racism. In fact, you don't have to wait too long into the news coverage of this event to find a lot of anecdotal stories about attractive women, particularly attractive white women in the news, saying that they walk into Starbucks, ask for the bathroom code, and get it every single time without a purchase.
I've done it a billion times. I've literally walked into a Starbucks without buying anything just to use their bathroom. I always get the key with a smile.
Now, while these attractive women seem to pin the differential treatment between themselves and these two men solely on race, I tend to lean toward the fact that it's probably a difference in treatment based on gender, or based on the fact that they are attractive women who are attractive enough to be on television. And the evidence that I choose to support that claim is my own personal experience. I used to go to school and work in Manhattan. There's a Starbucks around every 10 feet in Manhattan. And sometimes I go into a Starbucks because I really need to use the bathroom. And at least 3 times, probably more times if I count my trips into Chipotle for the same purpose, I've been forced to buy something in order to use the bathroom. Now, this may not be that surprising to you guys, but if you look at me, you can pretty much tell that I am not a black person. So chances are the numerous times that I was refused the bathroom key or code because I had not yet made a purchase had nothing to do with Starbucks being an anti-black organization. Chances are that the reason why major metropolitan area Starbucks have a bathroom key or code in the first place has nothing to do with race and has everything to do with the large homeless population in major metropolitan areas. I know of one Starbucks in Manhattan that doesn't have a key system for the bathroom, and one day when I walked in, I found a homeless man washing his socks in the sink. Now, this isn't me trying to take a dig at homeless people. They are in a bad situation, and I'm not trying to knock them down, but I can understand people who work at a Starbucks thinking, that's not my responsibility to take care of the homeless. I'm trying to run a coffee shop. And that brings us to the second reason that these policies probably exist in major metropolitan areas, is that people are disgusting in public bathrooms. So if you're running a Starbucks in an area with a lot of foot traffic, chances are you don't want extra people dirtying up your bathroom because you have to send an employee in there to clean up after that person. A ridiculously high number of people walk in and out of these major metropolitan locations daily. So it's far more likely that the reason why I've been refused the bathroom key and these two gentlemen have been refused the bathroom key was because of a policy designed to lighten the load on the low-wage workers at Starbucks. The fewer people that use the bathroom means that it needs to be cleaned fewer times during the day. So to me, it's far more reasonable that these gentlemen were refused entry to the bathroom for a policy that wasn't designed to discriminate against people racially, but it was designed to protect their low-wage workers. Now, Starbucks leaves individual stores to decide their own safety policy, because it doesn't make a lot of sense for a Starbucks in a rural area where most of their business comes via drive-thru to have the same policy as a Starbucks in the middle of Manhattan or Philadelphia. Now, I know what you guys are going to say next. They still called the police on these two guys when they really didn't need to. It wasn't that serious. And I understand where you're coming from, but you need to kind of put yourself in the shoes of the store owner. If you've had limited space and there are people in your store who told you that they are not going to become patrons of your store, you have every right to ask those individuals to leave. Now, once they refuse to leave, what do? Do you get into a physical confrontation with them? You either have to let it go or call the police. Now that we're at the point where she called the police on the two gentlemen, let's just do a little thought experiment and say that just for the sake of argument, this woman actually was uncomfortable because of the race of the two patrons, and that she in fact did call the police because they were both black. I don't believe there's sufficient evidence to support that being true, but just for argument's sake, we're going to accept that as fact and continue through the story as if we know for a fact that that was in her mind. So what are the police supposed to do when they get there? She is the store manager. These are people refusing to be customers. She has asked them to leave. They have refused to leave. What do you do if you're the police? Now, what the police actually did in this situation was inform them that the store manager has asked them to leave. They then asked them to leave at least 3 times. The two patrons refused, and the police felt like this was going to get a little confrontational, so they called the supervisor in to mediate the situation. They were informed that if they did not leave of their own volition, that they would be arrested. The two patrons still refused to leave, so the police ended up arresting them on the charge of trespassing. Now, if you believe that this story somehow proves that the Philadelphia Police Department is racist, you have to show me evidence for that, and then tell me what a non-racist police force would do in that exact same situation. To me, they did everything by the book. Like, unless they were supposed to bring their mind-reading helmets and then scan the store manager's brain, and then with this mind-reading helmet, realize that the reason that she was throwing them out was because she had racial animosity towards them. Like, even if that ridiculous situation with mind-reading helmets were the case, what are the police supposed to do with the information that the person in her private thoughts has racial animosity? That's not actually crime. However, refusing to leave private property when the person in charge of that private property asks you to do so is a crime. So to me, the attacks against the police are completely ridiculous. They did everything right in that situation based on the information that they had. And when you attack the police when they do everything right, everything by the book, and have an arrest without incident, it makes people think that you're anti-policing, not anti-bad policing. Look, every time I've had to use the bathroom at Starbucks and been forced to buy something, I found that really annoying. But when you examine the facts of the case and put yourself in the place of the two gentlemen, after they've been refused the bathroom key, and after they've been told to leave, do you really think if you acted the same exact way they did, you would have had a different result? The ironic thing about this story is that in reality, the only reason that the charges were dropped is because Starbucks didn't want this to be seen as a racial incident. So had the two gentlemen been two white guys, the charges would have stuck and there would have been no national coverage or backlash that would have forced Starbucks to drop them. So this is a story of two gentlemen actually benefiting from their skin color, not being punished for it. Look, I'm no fan of Starbucks bathroom policy. I'd like to say if I were a barista at Starbucks, I would just give the key to anybody and not really care. But it's important to realize that you're not entitled to use the bathroom at any private business. And Starbucks has every right to restrict that usage to customers only. I also think it's important to examine the evidence of cases like this and make a logical determination.
Actually, examining facts and evidence only proves your racism. White supremacy was built on supposed facts.
Seriously, dude? You're just gonna undercut me there?
Yes.
Alright, well, it's enough of the rabbit for now. Okay, so we're not going to see the rabbit for a while. The 5K video is coming. This is the end of the video. Like, share, subscribe. You know the whole deal. Till next time.